Incoming message. Welcome.
Hello, and we're back with Star Saga, and this time we're painting Francesco the Devil Selvaggio. This guy is all browns and rugged and bits of black in there as well, occasionally. So what we're going to do is paint him. Let's get on with it, shall we? Put his curd away, and let's see what we have. Well, he has a flamethrower by the look of it. Is it a flamethrower? Let me have a look. Yeah, it's a flamethrower. So what we need to do is, what do we need to do? Oh yes, paint. Right, so let's start off with his face, shall we? And paints I've picked for the face are Ungor Flesh and Baneblade Brown. Yes, we're going to have a little mix for his face because I want him to look rather rugged rather than just a straightforward what's the word I'm looking for? Rather than just a straightforward flesh colour. I want it to look rather different. I'm not quite sure I'm supposed to describe this. I want it to look like a face that's been lived in for a while, if you get me drift. So have the paints there. Next we get our brush. We need to do a little bit of a mix with this, as I said earlier. So I'll get some of the Ungor Flesh and add a little bit of the Baneblade Brown. I want this to look quite a greyish colour skin. Slightly darker and less, what's the word I'm looking for? And less clean cut, shall we say? And to give him the idea that his skin is sort of, I don't really know what I'm saying here. He's nicknamed the Devil. Now I don't want to give him red skin, obviously, because that would just be stupid. He's got a flamethrower. Okay, so I don't want to give him a traditional colour skin. I want it to look rather tinted, darkened by experience, shall we say, like aged leather. That's the kind of look that I'm going for. Obviously I don't want just like a brown colour. like leather. I'm looking for something a little paler and a little greyer, although it's not aged well. Hope you understand what I'm saying here. We'll soon find out if I've got the right idea or not. So that's the flesh done. Next, we're doing the areas below his jacket, his hair, his trousers and boots, and for that I put on black. And that noise you can hear in the background is me just shaking my paints, because they need a good shake. I'm going to use this starter brush, starter brush, to put the paint on the palette at the moment, because I don't need a massive amount, and I find that using the big brush is going to put too much paint on. So there we have that. So we'll get underway, and as I say, we'll paint the areas below the jacket, and I'm assuming will be body armour. So we're looking fairly similar idea to what we did for Erika Dolinsky in the first character video we did. And I'm going to paint his hair black. That's going to change as time goes on. We have a lot of detail in this hair. I'm going to pick out some strands again to give him that aged appearance. This guy's not had a good life, and I want to try and portray that in the painting.
Program activated.
I'm sorry if you can't see this. It's a little tricky trying to get into some areas because of the way the model is. I'm trying my best to keep it open enough so you can see what I'm doing. but occasionally there'll be times when I have to position it. You're not going to be able to see it. And occasionally, as you may have noticed, I'll position it so it's completely off camera, so even if it's stuff I want you to see, you miss it anyway because of my carelessness at watching the viewfinder. But never mind, I apologise for those times when I do that. I hope when I have done it, it's not spoiled your enjoyment of the videos. So that's the gun and his clothing done. Next, we're looking at his coat. I think, yes, Dirkstone. This will do wonders for his coat. In fact, I need to give this a good shake. I'm forgetting it's without it paint, you really need to give them a good shaking. So I'll just shake away and then apply to our palette. I'm using a slightly bigger brush. In fact, a much bigger brush this time. Give it a bit of a dampen down because we don't want a dry brush. And this is going to go all over the coat. So there is like an area where it looks as though there's two bits of material attached together. So we are going to do something different with one part than the other.
Program activated.
That, yeah, it looks okay now. So I'm going to take that off there. So I was like, no, I'm going to wash this off, not take it off. I'm going to wash it off and go back into the black. We'll need a little bit more. You see, the thing is, when you're painting things at the beginning of a job, there is a blindness that you can have as to what things are. So when you start putting paint on, that you can see what things are supposed to be and work with it. But as I say, it's just one of those things you deal with as a painter. It's not something that you can foresee. Well, you can foresee, you know it's going to happen, but as I said, there are times when you just don't see it. You think you're looking at something else, and it's only when you start putting paint, or the paint on, that you realise what you're actually looking at. Okay, I'm just going to go over the edge of the brown here again. I've just noticed I've got some black on these areas which are supposed to be brown. Well, these are fine. Right, now before we go any further, what I want to do is add a wash. Now the wash I'm going to be using is not the one you think I'm going to be using. Use Reichland Flesh Shade for his skin, and that will pick out areas that are actually scars, burns.
Program activated.
Okay, so that's that part done. I've gone over the black cloth as well, which you may have noticed, but I've not gone over the boots. So that's it. That's all we can do at the moment until this dries. So join me or stay tuned to us, and we'll pick this up when the wash has dried. Okay. Right, so now as you can see, he's very nicely dried now, and you can see what I mean about his face. Oops, oh, you will do when I get him in focus. That's looking a lot more like how I want him. So, what are we doing next? Sticking with the colours we already have, for the most part. I'm going to dampen my brush, I'm going to the flesh colour again that we mixed. And I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting on certain areas. It was not meant to be. Alright, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit so I can do it. So I'm going to go into here. There we go. His face. I'm not sure the biography of this fella, but I think, looking at him, it looks as though his face has been burned. I will check the biography and see in a moment. There we go. And now his hands. I'm trying to get it so that the camera's in the right position to pick it up. And not move it. There we go. So there we are. That's about that. There we go. So I'm going to zoom out again. I'm not going to zoom out as far as it was because I don't think you're seeing what I'm trying to show you if I zoom out too far. So next we're going into the colour that we used for the cloak, or for his coat rather, which was the dark stone, was it? Yep. And we're going to be going into this area down at the bottom. Yep. Actually not making it look as though it's two separate pieces of material. I'm going to put another colour around there in that area, so it just looks as though it's a bit of a design on his coat rather than two separate pieces of material. No, I'm not, because I've just noticed that there's a patch. So if it's patched, then he's not just going to, it must be a colour that he likes, and he doesn't want it to be he likes doing little repairs on it. So I'm going to treat it as though it is actually a two material thinking he's just patched up the bottom. It's got a little bit frayed, which is what this colour is signifying here at this precise moment in time. So as is normal, we are, in fact what I think I'm going to do first of all before I do that is look at what it's like underneath, and in fact it's just solid. So I think actually, no, I'm going to have it, as I said, where it's there's what do you call it, an extra piece of material that has been attached to the bottom of it. Yeah, that's that bit done. Now for the top area, we're going to use a slightly different colour, and we're going to use leather brown. So give it a good shake, because as you know, and my painter paints, you need a good shake. And we'll pop this onto there. And there we go. And again, this is all going to be on the high points of the folds.
Program activated.
So there we are, that's that bit's done. Next, what I'm going to do is go back into the dark stone. That's what painting basically is. It's just a case of making minor adjustments here, there and everywhere to things you've already done. I'm just tidying up this edge here where it needs it. And to be honest, it doesn't need it all that much to be honest, but it needs to be done.